Hi guys! Today we're going to look at how to add animations to our game to make things look a bit more interesting. We're going to split this into two parts. In this first part we'll add some basic movement animations to the player and the enemies. Then in the second part we'll add some animations for when the player and the enemies die. Okay, we'll start with this scene that continuously spawns enemies that wander around and chase the player. The player can also fire bullets and kill the enemies. We created this in our 2D top-down shooter series, so take a look if you want to know how it was done. Alternatively, you can download this project by supporting us on Patreon. All the links you need can be found in the description. Okay, let's start by adding a movement animation to the enemies. We'll navigate to the Sprites folder and select the Zombie Basic sprite. If we click the Sprite Editor button in the inspector, we can see that we've already split this into several sprites. Each of these sprites has the enemy in a slightly different position. So to animate the enemy, we're going to cycle through each of these images. Let's close this window and navigate to the enemy prefab. We'll double-click the prefab to open it. Then we'll open the animation window by selecting Window, Animation, Animation. To create a new animation clip for the enemy, we'll click the Create button. We'll create a new Animations folder in the Assets folder. Then in here, we'll create a folder called Enemy. This will contain all the animation clips for the enemies. We'll name the clip Enemy Move and click Save. Now we have an empty animation. We can use this to change the properties of the enemy over a period of time. We want to change the sprite, so we'll add this property to the animation. We'll click Add Property. Then we'll select Graphics, Sprite Renderer, Sprite. We'll click the plus button to add the property. So now we have the sprite property on the left and the time across the top. We can add keyframes at various points along this timeline to specify what we want the sprite to be at a particular time. Let's set the initial sprite for the animation. We'll navigate to the Sprites folder. Then we'll expand the Zombie Basic sprite. We'll drag the first sprite onto the first keyframe in the animation. Then we'll select this last keyframe and press Delete. Now we have just one keyframe at the beginning of the animation, setting the sprite to the first image. Let's add another keyframe. We'll click on the timeline at the 5 marker. Then we'll click this button to add another keyframe. We'll go back to the Sprites folder and this time we'll drag in the second image. Now if we press the play button on the animation, we can see the sprite changing. Let's do the same for all the other images, evenly spacing them out on the timeline. We want this animation to loop seamlessly. To do this, we'll have the animation start and end with the same sprite. We'll select the first keyframe. Then we'll click on the timeline at the end of the animation. Now we'll press Ctrl+C to copy the selected frame and then Ctrl+V to paste it in at the position we're currently at on the timeline. Okay, let's play this animation again. It's looking good, but the left arm looks like it makes a sudden jump at the end. If we step through the animation, we can see the frame that's causing the problem. The sudden jump is between the penultimate and the last keyframe. We can make this look better by adding another keyframe in between these and reusing one of the images. We'll select the last keyframe and drag it along. Then we'll add another in the gap. For this one, we'll reuse the 5th image. Now when we press play, it looks much better. Okay, that's the animation finished. Let's close this window and look at how to make this animation play during the game. If we select the enemy in the hierarchy, we can see there's now an Animator component. If we double-click on the controller, it opens the Animator controller for the enemy. This is currently showing that the entry animation state is enemy move. So the animation will play on start, which is exactly what we want. Let's exit the prefab and click the play button to try this out. Now the enemies are animated. Let's stop the game and do the same for the player. We'll select the player in the hierarchy. Then we'll open the animation window again. We'll click the Create button to create a new animation. This time we'll create a folder for the player. We'll call this animation Player Move. We'll do exactly the same as we did for the enemy. First we need to add the sprite property. Then we'll assign all the available sprites for the player, spaced out evenly. We need to remember to copy the first frame to the end so that it loops seamlessly. Let's play the animation to see what this looks like. This looks a little bit fast. We can easily slow it down by increasing the time the animation takes. Let's select all the keyframes. Then we can click and drag this bar to change the length of the animation. Let's drag this to the 40 mark. This increases the length of the animation and moves all the keyframes proportionally. If we play the animation again, we can see it's now slower. Let's close this window and start the game. Now the player is animated as well. The problem is they never stop running, even when they're standing still. Let's stop the game and look at how to fix this. We'll open up the Animator controller for the player. We can see it starts playing the move animation on entry. What we need to do is create an idle animation for when the player isn't moving. Let's go back to the animation window to do this. We'll select the player in the hierarchy as we want to create a new animation for the player. Then we'll select the drop-down on the top left of the animation window and select Create New Clip. We'll call this Player Idle. We'll add the sprite property as before. The idle animation is just going to have one frame. We'll delete the last one. Then we'll set the first one to the first player sprite. That's it for the idle animation. Let's close this and go back to the Animator controller. Now we have two animation states. We'll right-click the idle animation and select Set as Layer Default State. Let's start the game to see how this behaves. Now we're back to where we were before, with the player not animated. That's because we're now in the idle state. We need to be able to switch to the move animation when the player moves, and switch back to idle when they stop. Let's stop the game and go back to the Animator controller to do this. We'll right-click the idle state and select Make Transition. Then we'll click on the move state to create the transition. So we now have a transition from idle to move. Let's click the transition line to set it up. We'll expand the settings section. In here we can control how the transition will work. By default it's set to transition after a period of time. We want to control when the transition happens, so we'll untick Has Exit Time. We also want the transition to happen instantly, so we'll set the transition duration to 0. Next, we need to add a condition that needs to be met for this transition to occur. For this, we'll need to add a parameter. We'll select the Parameters tab. Then we'll click the plus button and create a Boolean parameter. We'll call this isMoving. Then we'll go back to the transition and add a condition. We want this to be when isMoving is true. So now, whenever the isMoving parameter is set to true, the animator will transition from the idle state to the move state. Next, we need to add a transition back to idle. We'll right-click on the move state and select Make Transition. Then we'll click the idle state to create the transition. We'll set this transition up in a similar way. We'll untick Has Exit Time and set the transition duration to 0. Then we'll add a condition. This time we'll set isMoving to false. So whenever the isMoving parameter is set to false, the animator will transition from the move state to the idle state. The only thing left to do is to set this parameter at the correct time from within our player movement script. We'll navigate to the Player Scripts folder and double-click the script to open it. To be able to set the parameter, we'll need access to the Animator component. We'll add a private field for this. Then, in the Awake method, we'll get the Animator component and assign it to the field. Next, we'll create a new private method called setAnimation. To set the parameter to the correct value, we need to determine whether the player is moving or not. To do this, we'll check if the movement input value is not set to 0. Now we can use the Animator setBool method to set the value of the parameter. We need to make sure we type the parameter name exactly as we did when we created it. The final thing to do is call this new method from within fixedUpdate. OK, let's save the script and switch back to Unity to try it out. Now the move animation only plays while the player is moving. In the next video in this series, we'll add the animations for when the player and enemies die. If you want to be alerted when this one's out, then subscribe and click the bell icon. If you have any questions or feedback on this video, let us know in the comments. A big thank you to all our patrons. We really appreciate you helping to support the channel. If you'd like to help and also get access to the source code, you can find details in the description. Thanks, guys!